it's Cassie Zahersky, children's book author and illustrator, and today I'm here to read a super fun book called Brave Blondie. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below me to your right to follow along to more great stories like this one. Alright, shall we begin? Brave Blondie by Diane Mizwicki, illustrated by Roxana Barwinska. Crash! Boom! Bang! Another pot fell from the shelf. Blondie rushed out of the kitchen, but at the door she spun and ran back inside. She stuffed one more tool into her tooth fairy backpack and raced out again. She was going to be late for work. She arrived just before the last train left the station.
I can do this,
she thought. The train clattered over Firefly Falls as Blondie reviewed the night's assignment. She had 6 children to visit that night. Her partner, Mushi, was waiting for her at the train stop.
Come on, Blondie. I don't want you to end up last on the achievement list again.
Soon Firefly Falls was disappearing into the distance as they raced toward Chicago, Illinois. The first stop was Isaiah's house. Blondie guarded the door while Mushi slipped in and out. Then they were off to Kyoto, Japan. Blondie tripped over a dog's tail and decided to wait in the yard while Mushi got that tooth. Splash! Sophie in London, England almost woke up when Blondie knocked over a glass of water, but Mushi caught it before it hit the ground. On to Astrid's house in Stockholm, Sweden, and Timothy's house in Limerick, Ireland. Finally, it was the last tooth of the night, Francesca's in Venice, Italy. Mushi grabbed the tooth and Blondie proudly set it in her backpack. Francesca rolled over with a groan and the tooth fairies darted away.
We did it!
Cheered Blondie, but she had forgotten to zip her backpack. It was so full of tools that a huge gust of wind easily caught Francesca's little tooth and blew it right out of Blondie's backpack. It landed in a gondola on the canal. Whoosh!
Oh no!
Gasped Blondie.
Blondie, you know I love you, but this is getting out of hand. You'll never get enough teeth this way.
It was almost dawn. They had to get back to Firefly Falls. Blondie glanced over her shoulder in regret. They got back just as the tooth technicians were getting to work. Blondie loved watching them scrub and dry the teeth before handing them off to the color artists. Once the teeth were sparkling, the architects and builders worked together to add new buildings to the town. Blondie and Mushi turned in their collected teeth.
Here, you better recycle this one,
said Patrick. Blondie put the chipped tooth back into her backpack. She took the trolley to the recycling center and handed the tooth to Razzo. He cleaned it, then inspected it carefully.
I see there's a cavity,
said Razzo.
This tooth will make a perfect vase. Even if something is a little broken, we don't throw it away. We just have to be a little more creative with it.
Blondie went to bed that morning thinking hard about what Razzo had said. The next night, Blondie and Mushi met up.
Only 3 more teeth today,
noted Mushi.
I got more than you yesterday, so why don't you get these 2 and I'll head to Spain.
Blondie's first stop was in Switzerland to fetch Levi's tooth, but she dropped it on the mountain. She searched for hours in the snow before she found it. Then she grabbed a tooth in Rome. Blondie's stomach roared, so she took a quick detour into the Kernel Corn Popcorn Factory for a midnight snack. No one would notice a few missing pieces of popcorn. Clunk! Oh no! Blondie looked down just as both teeth disappeared into a huge container of fresh buttery popcorn. She didn't want to make a mess by scattering all the popcorn, so she began to eat. She ate and ate and ate and ate. Aha! She zipped the teeth securely in her backpack. With a full tummy, Blondie headed back to meet Mushi. Just then, she noticed a familiar gondola. She waited on the bridge, then jumped down when the gondolier wasn't looking. There it was! Francesca's tooth sparkled with a crevice in the front of the boat. Blondie scooted toward the tooth, but the gondolier turned, and Blondie hit again. Wait! Sticky string to the rescue! Blondie cast the string toward the tooth and reeled it in.
Did you get it?
Asked Mushi. Blondie held up the 3 teeth proudly.
Awesome!
Just then, there was a beep. Poppy, the top collector in all of Firefly Falls, had been flying home when she crashed into a crow. Her teeth had fallen everywhere, tons of them. All nearby fairies were being called in to help collect the teeth before sunrise. Blondie grinned. This was her chance. Before Mushi had even landed, Blondie was off. She stuffed her pockets until they almost burst. She stuffed her socks and hat, too. And there were still more. Blondie grabbed some big leaves and stuffed them full. She borrowed a laundry sack, rain boots, and a wheelbarrow and filled them to the top. What a haul! There were still 3 more teeth, but no one could reach them. One tooth had fallen into a hornet's nest. Another was teetering at the top of a waterfall. The last one had dropped down a chimney. Blondie grabbed her fishing net and, balancing carefully, she scooped the tooth out of the cascading water. Next, Blondie tricked the hornets into coming out of the hive by pouring sticky maple syrup all down the tree. The hornets swarmed the syrup long enough for her to grab the tooth with her croquet hook. One more to go. Using her rock climbing rope, Blondie plunged down the chimney. With all the soot, Blondie couldn't see a thing. She whipped out her blacklight. There! Blondie got out her super-duper long tweezers and snatched up the tooth. She emerged triumphant. She placed the tooth in her boss's hand.
Thanks, Blondie,
said Patrick.
Yeah, whatever.
Said Poppy. She flittered away, but Blondie didn't mind.
Blondie, I know I've been a bit tough on you, but you're actually the most creative, brave, and determined tooth fairy I know. I'm glad to be your partner,
declared Mushi.
Oh, thanks, Mushi. You know what? It's okay to make mistakes. It's how we learn. Besides, you're good at certain things, and I'm good at certain things. We make a great team.
Smiled Blondie. Blondie hugged Mushi. Clink, clink, kerplop. 3 tooth fell out of Blondie's pockets. Mushi scooped them up with a big grin. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed Brave Blondie as much as I did, and I will see you next time. Bye, Circle Time friends!